In today's video, we are going to be talking about the goals that we've set, how we track those goals, and the reports we use to figure everything out. We've gotten this question a few times, and this comment particularly is a question that kind of asked me in a really concise way, and I hadn't really thought about all of it together, so I decided to just do a video to answer it as fully as possible. So my name is Shay, I'm a full-time reseller.
I'm Tyler, part-time seller.
And before we get into everything, you have a t-shirt?
I do have a shirt. This was gifted, another one by Zoe from Zoe Chat.
I don't think they can all see it.
4 out of 3 people struggle with math.
Which I think is appropriate, because this is very much numbers-based.
It's a little bit harsh, but it's also... There's no shame in struggling with math. I'm
terrible. I was an English major. Math is not my thing. So, yes, but this was given to us by Zoe Chats, and I want to tell you that she does have a Whatnot auction coming up tomorrow at 6 p.m. So if you can make it, please, please, please go. We are going to be there. We'll be in the chat. This is our first ever Whatnot that we've ever been to. So if it's yours too, don't feel bad. Just come out and check it out. I'm sure she's going to have amazing things and it'll be a fun time. So make sure that you check it out. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to her auction. But yeah, let's get on Whatnot and see what it's all about. I mean, I don't know. Let's try it.
Let's get started.
All right, let's get started. So as we said, we're going to be talking about our goals, how we track them, and the reports we use. So let's get started with the goals.
So how did you come up with this goal?
He said that weird, right? There's nothing weird about my goals. My goal is $205 a day, which comes out to $75,000 per year. And that is a completely random number that I don't even know what he's accusing me of.
All right. So she has set that goal, and we are not quite there. We are getting closer and closer as we go. So we look at that goal on a yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily value. And we use those numbers to make sure that we are on track to reach that goal.
Right. So we do this on an average basis. So we do want to get to 205 a day, but at the end of the week, we will check and see on average, did we hit 205 a day? If I made 300 one day, but only 175 another day, we're going to average that and see if I hit 205. Same thing that we do at the end of the month. We will look at the month as a whole and see on average, did I hit 205 a day? It's a lot easier to do things that way rather than worrying about hitting a goal every single day. Sales are not consistent enough for that to be real. So if you have a really great day, don't worry. It's okay if you have a really bad day to follow. That's okay.
I mean, it also, for that, allows you, when you average it, it allows you to look at the week at the end of the week to know if you need to catch up.
Yeah, so catching up. When we are looking at our goals, we will look at the end of the week or the end of the month and we'll say, okay, I'm really short, so I need to accept really low offers, or I'm really short, I need to run a sale. And we have a whole video dedicated to what sales we've run and on what schedule, because I have a schedule. And I will link that up here, but we are very proactive about getting our sales. We want to make sure that we're not just waiting for a buyer to come to us. So we will use the My Shoppers tool to run sales, or we will start, sending out really aggressive offers to try and hit those goals when we are short. But on the flip side, it also allows me, when I am not short, to say no and love it and feel great about it.
The last thing we want to mention about setting goals for yourself is that once you are hitting your goal consistently, you do want to reevaluate and most likely up that goal so that it is something you're still struggling or working towards achieving rather than just coasting.
You mean to tell me that I can't just crush it every single day and just say that that's my goal that I'm reaching for?
You don't want to make $10 a day and then you're already done.
Yeah, so all that to say, don't set goals that are super simple. So if you're making $100 a day, don't make your goal $100 a day. Make it more than that. Don't do something too simple, because then it becomes not a goal anymore. And also make sure you're evaluating your goals on at least a quarterly basis to make sure that you are hitting that goal and moving on to the next goal and growing your business. It's really important that you're doing that.
All right. Now into the numbers and the math side of things on how we track these goals.
Yes. So we know that we want to get $75,000 for the year, which breaks down to $205 a day. But we have to figure out, what does that mean? Exactly what action do I have to take to hit that number? So can you kind of give us an overview?
So the first math equation and number you're going to have to find is your sell-through rate. Now, we've talked about that probably about a dozen times now. It's 7 or 8 videos at this point. But sell-through is essentially how many items you are picking up versus how many items you are selling.
Yeah, and to be clear, what we're using is how many items we're listing versus how many items we're selling, because that death pile, ain't nobody gonna talk about it. Out of sight, out of mind, guys. For this video, it's not here.
Right. So the equation that we're using, and the calculation we're using, is the number of items that have sold on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, which Mercari's easy math, it's usually 1 or 2, versus the number of items that you list on all 3 platforms. Now, the nice part about that number is that you list all of the same items, for the most part, on all the platforms, so that you're not changing that, and you have multiple sources of sales coming in for the calculation.
Yes, so we ran our personal sell-through rate, and we run at approximately a 54% sell-through rate.
53.6, dear.
Oh my goodness, we round in this place. So we looked at our sell-through rate, and we looked at the dollar amount we wanted to make per day, $205, and we said, okay, so if we have approximately a 50% sell-through rate, we want to make $205, then we're going to need to list approximately $400 value of items. So that sounds great, because that means that if I find a $300 item, then I only really need to list like 2 or 3 items, right?
No. You cheat. She cheats a lot. So we have added another component to this so that she can't just list all of her best items. We have a requirement that she tries to list 10 items per day, every day.
So yes, so our goal right now is that we need to list $400 worth of items per day, and minimum of 10 items to hit that number. So a lot of times I'm over the $400 mark, because I might list like a $200 dress or something like that. And then, once you get up to 10, you're well over it. But that is what it is. I have to do minimum of 10, so I stop being lazy.
So now that you have the target dollar amount figured out for your business, there are a bunch of other numbers that we look at just to take stock of how things are going. The next number we look at is our average sale price. Now, you can break this average sale price up any number of ways that you want. You can do by platform, by brand, by category, just to see how different sections of your reselling business are performing. So you could look at your average sale price for clothing across the board. You could look at average sale price of clothing, Poshmark, eBay. You could look at average sale price for pants versus tops, just to see if there's anything that you need to do to tweak, things that you should be focusing more of your time on, things that you're getting a better dollar amount for.
Right. This also helps when you are outsourcing. So for example, if you look at, say, Madewell, and you see that your average sale price for Madewell is $40, you might not want to spend $15 on that. You might want to keep your cost at $10. So this is a really good way to be able to see, what you're comfortable spending on brands, because you can see what your average sale price is, so you know what your average profit is going to be. It also helps you kind of see, is the average sale price what you were expecting it to be when you started sourcing these items? If it's not, you might want to reevaluate what you're picking up. You might want to try to figure out what you're doing wrong there. And if it's more than that, maybe you should be more, liberal about picking it up.
We've done it a few times where we've looked at certain things, and one of the numbers has surprised us, whether it's sell-through rate or average sale price.
Yeah, Moth, I'm looking at you. I mean, we stopped picking it up. We thought it wasn't moving, and then we looked at it and we're like, oh my goodness, we should be picking it up all the time. Didn't know. So definitely be keeping track of that, because it's going to really help you when you're out there sourcing to know what are good buys versus what are bad buys before you've even picked them out.
On that, it's also going to help you, if you look at all of the numbers on a granular level, it's going to help you determine if a brand performs better on a specific platform. We've done a video about that already as well, looking at brands by platform. So it's nice to dig into the numbers and go through them periodically, just to make sure that you're on track for your business.
Yes.
Well, before we get to the reporting side of things and what reports we actually run, we did want to take a quick pause to just plug the channel membership again and say thank you.
Yes, so thank you guys so much for those of you who have joined our channel. We appreciate it so much. And for those of you who haven't, it is $1 a month. And the reason I think it's really important that we mention it in this video is, I know when we talk about sell-through rate and average sale price and all that type of things, I get a lot of comments that I don't really know where to start, or I'm not really sure how to do this. And I think that the Facebook group that we're going to be creating when we hit 10 members, we're one away. Is a great place for us to kind of all work together to help each other figure this out. So we are more than happy to help you figure out your average sale price, your sell-through rate, all that type of stuff in a quick, easy place to do that. So on the Facebook group. You can post, you can ask questions, and we will do our best to answer as much as we can and help you figure this stuff out. So if you're not already joined, you can do that by just clicking join channel on our YouTube channel page, and we will be opening up a Facebook group. We only need one more. So if you click that button, the Facebook group is opening.
And we can't tell you how much it means to us. It's the most amazing thing ever.
Yes, it is amazing, and we will be trying to do more and more perks as we go along, so make sure you are watching the channel member page on YouTube as well as we announce more and more things that we're going to do. But yeah, let's get into it. What reports are we running?
All right, so on to the reports that we use to get all of this information. So before we get to that, it is important to note that there are services out there that will give you some of the data that you're looking for and just present it for you without you having to do anything. So they will give you some of the information, they'll give you the sell-through, ESP, all of that, and you have to pay for the service obviously, but they do all of the legwork for you.
Yeah, the biggest one I can think of is Seller Insight. Now, we do not personally use any of these services, but I have heard great things about Seller Insight. I know that they give a lot of great reports. So if it's something you're looking for and it's not something that you personally want to run on your own, definitely look into that. I can't vouch for it personally, but I know a lot of people that do. But us personally, we use the reports that are given to us just directly by the platform. So our reports that we use are the Poshmark Sales Report, Poshmark Inventory Report, and the eBay Quality Listings Report.
Yes. So let's start with Posh. The sales report is a gold mine for data. And thankfully, my wife is good at Excel. I am not terribly good at Excel.
I don't know about all that. I do very simple things on here. So, for example, if you want to find out the average sale price, which we've been chatting about throughout this whole video, all you have to do is filter to the brand that you're looking for. So say you want to know your average sale price for Madewell, you just go to the sales report, filter to Madewell, highlight your sold column, and just go all the way to the bottom, and it will actually tell you your average sale price for that column without having to run a formula or do anything at all. It's just right there in front of you. So I'm going to see if Editing Tyler can put a screenshot of what that looks like for you, so you can just, look and figure that out on your report and see the same thing. But you will get a little snip from Editing Tyler. But simple things like that are basically all we do. We just kind of go through and run reports by filtering. No crazy formulas. No need.
Take the category that you want to find out about, sort it out so that you have just that category, and then you can run basically any kind of calculation you want, whether it's ASP, sell-through, etc. The options are basically unlimited.
Right. Now, we also use that same report to figure out our personal sell-through rate. So for Poshmark, for example, what we would do is we look at how much we list per day, approximately. We look at that over a 90-day period, and then we will go to our Poshmark sales report and see in that 90-day period, what number of items did we sell. Now, for the Poshmark sales report, you are able to determine what time period you want a report for. So I will go into it, and before I print it out, I will go to custom range and type in the numbers that I want so that I can have exactly what I need and I don't have to filter dates. You can do for a full year and just filter the dates, but ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, moving on to eBay.
Yes, so eBay Quality Listings Report. This one is helpful, but not in the way you would think. So eBay Quality Listings Report is meant to kind of give you a heads up on how your listings are doing on their platform and what opportunities you have to optimize those listings.
Improve the visibility and all of that, and make your listing fit what eBay wants.
Yes. Now, this report basically always tells me I need more photos. That's basically literally the only optimization that it gives me ever, and I don't have more things to take photos of unless I started, I don't know, taking pictures of each shoulder, or I don't know, right? So I don't know.
Just pictures of everything, all of the pictures.
Yeah, so what we actually use the eBay Quality Listings Report for is to kind of go through our items and get a temperature on how they're doing from our perspective. So the first thing I look at with this report is my brand. So I don't know if you have noticed, and maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm the only one in the world that does this, but
It's probably just you.
Probably just me. Yeah. I don't always notice when eBay pre-populates a brand for me, and I just let it go and list the item, and the brand is never correct. So I use...
Wait, you're telling me medium and orange are not brands?
Who knew? So I will go into the eBay Quality Listings Report. I will go to the brand column, and I will click on the down arrow in the filter and just scroll and make sure all of those brands are brands I recognize as brands. If I see a word like orange, I know something is wrong, and I will go and correct that listing. So that's a quick thing that I do as often as possible to make sure that the right brand.
And you can do that with multiple different categories. You could search by size and do that. You can do that for the brand, color if you want to go through each item and see if there's a random thing that's not a color. So it's a way to try to optimize and catch some of the problems with a listing so that someone can find it and buy it.
Right. Now, we can do a full video at some point if you'd like, just kind of seeing exactly how we use this report and what we do with each item when we find out there's something to do. We can do that for you if you want. Let us know in the comments below. But a quick thing that we do all of the time that we should mention on this report is we will sort by most viewed versus worst viewed by category. Now, the eBay quality listing report is already broken up by category, so that's kind of just no choice. You have to do that. But so say, for example, that one of the categories is pants, we will go and we will look at the daily impressions and we will go to the lowest number, whatever that may be. It could be 0, could be 3, could be 5, whatever it is, go to the lowest number and we'll look at those items in there and see, is there a reason that it's so low? Is it just, maybe it's just not popular on eBay? Did I make a mistake when I did the listing? Is my price so out of range that people are just ignoring me? What is the reason that I'm getting such low impressions? And sometimes I will even have my husband kind of look with me and kind of see,
yes,
is there something he's seeing when he searches that I'm not seeing? Maybe he searches differently than me. And
if that's not a baby, I search vastly different than you. You search bizarrely.
But I always get better results than him. So.
That's not true at all. Not true at all.
Yeah, so we will go through and do that. We then also will check by most viewed. Now, the reason I look at most viewed is because this tells me there is a high demand for this item, whether that means it's in search term or specifically for my item, but there is some kind of a high demand, but it's not selling. So I need to look at that and see what is the reason that so many people are seeing my item, but they're not purchasing it. So again, we'll look at errors, we'll look at price, we'll look at pictures, all types of things to see if we can figure out exactly what is causing that item to not sell, even though it's being viewed.
Yeah. I mean, it's makes all the difference in the world. If you can change 5, 10 of them and get them sold, that's the 5 that you need to sell for the day.
Yes, and we sometimes will kind of just run a little experiment, if you will, track some of these and see how many of them sell after we fix them. And a lot of the times, way more sell than you would expect.
Yep.
So we don't do this as often as we should. We probably should be doing this on a daily basis, but I would say we do it more on like a bi-weekly, maybe even monthly basis. But if you're not doing it, definitely do it. And also make sure that you're taking those changes you're making on eBay and moving them over to Poshmark, because it's important that anything you're updating gets transferred over to all platforms and you're not just optimizing for one platform. But those are the reports that we do. I mean, we keep it really simple. We want to make sure there are things that we can do all the time, and we want to make sure that it's not overwhelming to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm not doing numbers day. That's not happening.
Well, thank you for including me in this, because I have no part in any of this basically, but I'm happy to be included.
So that is everything. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Let us know in the comments below if there are specific things you want us to do more detail on. We're happy to do that. But yeah, we keep it real simple over here, and hopefully you learned something from this. But thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you all so much for watching.